The disgraced former tech billionaire Elon Musk spoke at the Conservative Political Action Committee, wielding a chainsaw gifted to him by far-right Argentinian President Javier Milei. Musk reiterated his and Trump's criticism of Ukraine and repeated his and Trump's false claim that dead people are receiving Social Security payments. Musk referenced his and Trump's plan to send Americans dividend checks from the so-called Doge, but then later walked that back, claiming his efforts would mean just lower taxes, but gave no detail. A federal judge ruled on Thursday that the Trump administration can proceed with widespread terminations of federal employees, denying an attempt by labor unions to halt the reductions in the approximately 2.3 million member federal workforce. U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper, presiding in Washington, D.C., issued a temporary ruling while the legal proceedings continue. This decision marks a victory for the Trump regime in its effort to reduce federal staffing and curb what it views as excessive government expenditure. Last week, the National Treasury Employees Union and 4 other unions filed a lawsuit attempting to prevent the regime from dismissing hundreds of thousands of federal employees and offering buyouts to those who voluntarily resign. The lawsuit seeks to block 8 federal agencies, including the Department of Defense, Department of Health and Human Services, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and the Department of Veterans Affairs, from executing large-scale layoffs. In his 16-page order, Cooper acknowledged the administration's extensive use of executive actions, which some argue have intentionally caused disruption in various sectors of American society. He noticed that many of the actions have faced legal challenges across multiple courts. However, Cooper stated that the court likely lacks jurisdiction over the matter, and the union should instead file their grievances with a federal labor board responsible for handling disputes between unions and government agencies. Trump appointed the Tesla CEO Elon Musk to a newly established Department of Government Efficiency, which has spearheaded significant federal workforce reductions since Trump's inauguration. Federal agencies have been directed to collaborate with Doge to identify employees subject to layoffs. Termination notices were distributed last week to numerous federal employees, primarily probationary staff in agencies such as the Department of Education, the Small Business Administration, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and the General Services Administration. The plaintiffs, including the United Auto Workers, the NTEU, and the National Federation of Federal Employees, argue that the administration's initiatives, particularly through Doge, violate the constitutional principle of separation of powers, undermining Congress's authority over federal agency funding. The unions contend that without judicial intervention, they will suffer financial harm due to a decline in dues-paying members affected by dismissals or early retirements. Most federal civil servants can only be dismissed for poor performance or misconduct and have legal rights to appeal their termination. However, probationary employees, who made up a large portion of those dismissed, have fewer legal protections. With the legal cases mounting, the cost of firing such a large number of civil servants could end up costing far more than the cost savings of having them not work for the federal government anymore. With the buyout acceptance period now closed, approximately 75,000 federal employees accepted the offer, amounting to about 3% of the total federal workforce, according to the U.S. Office of Personnel Management. The unions have requested the court declare the terminations and buyouts unlawful and to prevent further dismissals or another round of buyout offers. Remember, the 8 months of pay that has been promised to these individuals is not necessarily guaranteed. We've cleaned up our diets, removed the harsh chemicals from our homes, so why are we still relying on outdated remedies for our health? Let me tell you about the highest quality CBD from CB Distillery. They offer natural, plant-based solutions for sleep, stress, and even post-workout pain that actually work. And get this, 90% of people report better sleep with CBD. That's a big deal. And if you're battling daily stress or trying to ease that nagging pain after exercise, CB Distillery has solutions for that too. Once you try it, you'll wonder how you ever got by without it. With over 2 million satisfied customers and a 100% money-back guarantee, you can trust CB Distillery. And right now, you can save 20% with promo code 5min at cbdistillery.com. That's cbdistillery.com, promo code 5min. cbdistillery.com. Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota. In a legal filing on Monday, the government argued that the unions lack the legal standing to sue because they would not suffer direct harm from the workforce reductions. The administration further contended that granting the union's request would unjustly interfere with the president's initiatives to reform the federal workforce. Over 70 lawsuits have been filed opposing the Trump regime's broader effort to reshape the federal workforce in his image, impose immigration restrictions, and repeal certain policies, including those affecting transgender rights. The legal outcomes have been mixed, with some of the administration's key policies facing judicial blocks. For example, attempts to end automatic birthright citizenship for US-born children have been challenged in court. On Thursday, it was reported the Internal Revenue Service has initiated employee terminations as part of the broader downsizing efforts. Around 7,000 employees, equivalent to 7% of the agency's 100,000-person workforce, are expected to be let go. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.